Hello everyone, welcome to another I'm Gonna Pack It video. We're going to start with a bat this morning. $100 33-inch long bat. And we're just going to use one of these 16, 12, 10 boxes this time. You can also use a 12, 12, 12 box. The only reason I'm using this is because I like that it has the longer panel there. Let's see, I'll go ahead and cut this panel off now. I know I'm not going to need it. But I don't want to try not to cut into the bench too much. It already looks bad enough. I'm thinking about refinishing it. Okay, we're going to do a line right down the middle. So we got to figure out what right down the middle means. Let's see. Okay, that's about 5 inches, I guess. Okay. These actually end up being, actually I don't need the T-square at all. I don't know why I have that out. That ain't going to help us on this one. These packs end up doing well. I've never had any problem with them. Oh wait, I did have one. The only time I've had a problem with a triangle box is one time when I used, back when the move on stuff like this was to just use USPS priority mailing tubes, the triangle ones. Because back then they didn't charge any kind of surcharge or anything to use those. But the only thing with using those was that the cardboard on those tubes is really thin. And so I shipped a poster in one. Oh, it was like a $30 poster or something. And it got damaged because the tube just wasn't strong enough. But I've never had any problems whenever I ship like this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and preemptively do one side here. Let's see, I could do this by hand because I know I want a score there. And then let's see how long this is going to be. Okay, another score right here. And you can kind of eyeball that because you have those, see those lines, the corrugation or whatever. There we go. Okay, so tell you what, I can go ahead, I can do, the more you do when it's laid out flat, the easier it is. So I know all these are going to get cut. And I know all of these are going to get cut. And really, I could go one more step, which I've never done it like that before, but I could go one more step and cut the triangles now. That's interesting. Let's see. So I need to go like that. We'll see how this works out. Let's see how this turns out. It's easier just to let them fall on the floor. I'll pick them up in a little while. Okay. Look at this. This is a work of art here. Okay. And yes, I am wearing my footwear shows today. I'm wearing Crocs and socks. But I promise y'all, if anytime I go anywhere, even if it's to UPS store, I've got to swap out these blades. Even if I go to UPS store, I'll put on normal shoes. If I go anywhere, if I leave the house at all, I put on normal shoes. But whenever I'm at home, and I like wearing my Crocs. I'm on my feet a lot, and I find they're pretty comfy. There we go. So we're just gonna fold this. Heck yeah, I think we're good here. Do tape there. I've never done one like this where I pre-cut my corners. Let's see how that ends up working out. I want it like this. Let's see how that works out. It's not really that easy to make those corner cuts once your box is all the way made up. And I'm going to go all the way around on each one of these. Okay. Then we're going to close this end up. Huh. I'd say that worked. That looks pretty good, huh? Nothing wrong with that. And yes, I do put an obscene amount of tape whenever I do these on the ends. Actually not obscene. Look, that's actually like one of the cleanest ones I've ever done. I guess because I double check my height. Yeah, perfect. Put a little bit of paper. I moved all my paper over here yesterday. This one's almost out. Got my little triangles. Okay, I'm just going to put a little in paper in the bottom. Well, we're just going to put it on top and then we'll shove the bat in. Okay, this is a nice little pack here, man. I like this. And I already bubbled the bat, obviously, as y'all saw. Okay. Oop, put these in here. Okay, and UPS is cheaper on these because of the length. But guess what? It's only like $5 more expensive on USPS. I won't drive to UPS store to save $5 because we're talking 20 minutes of time and bother. That's not worth it. And get out there and all that mess, traffic and all that stuff. So there, that's done. All right. We're packing this cool jacket here. Cool. I would say vintage. It might not be, actually. I think it is a little older, at least. Probably 90s. It's 90s made to look like it was kind of 70s, I guess. But yeah, we're just going to use, pick y'all up a little bit. There we go. We're just going to use a 12-12-12 box on this one. Man, I'm so happy with the way my poster turned out. That's my new way of doing it. Cutting those corners out while the cardboard is still folded out. It made a huge difference. It made it a lot easier too. Plus the box looks like it was made to be like that. So, happy with that pack. Okay. Let's see what we're doing here. I'm just going to get a resized depth. Of course, I'll take it out. Okay, I think I'm going to be able to get four flaps out of this. I cut flaps off a pretty good bit on packs, and I end up using those flaps so much that I don't even have, I think I might have a couple over there, but I need more because I use these cutoffs so much. Before I cut that last one, I'll make sure it'll fold over fine, and it will. Although if I leave it, it'll stop. You know what? I'm going to leave that last one. Because that'll mean, if I leave that on there, that'll mean they can't cut the item. Or that'll mean they won't cut the item. I'll say it like that. Because what you don't want is a seam in the middle and they come through and whoosh, with a box knife. All right. And leaving this here, they're cutting way over here on the edge instead. So I think that's better. All right, back in a Bible. It's got that nice zip up cover on it, so don't need bubbles or anything, but I am gonna throw it into a poly bag. And I'm just gonna use a 12-10-4 box. All right, pack in a collar, and I'm using a box. I just don't want to put that. That's a stiff piece of cardboard, and we did charge 12-ounce shipping on this, so they're paying for it, but I just didn't want to put that in a bubble mailer or something. Not great. Didn't want to put that in a bubble mailer or something in case it's a gift. Whoops. You never know this time of year. If it wasn't Christmas season, then I might just bend it or whatever. Maybe. I don't like doing that, period, honestly. My rule of thumb usually is the item better look like it did whenever you took a photo of it for the listing. That's kind of how I think about it. Whenever they open it, it should look just like the listing did. There's some exceptions. Like a lot of times I would say auto parts don't really matter. There's a few things like that where I don't like packaging would never ever matter much. Where we're at weight wise, but I know I don't need this flap at all. Just put this in here, put that in there. I don't even know if these reach. No, they don't. Look, we got a little window into it right there. Oh boy, what did I do? And I can't, there's no way for me to cover it other than, I don't know if I'm going to put something funky in there. It might as well not be straight. There we go. Look at that. All right. What a dumb looking pack that is. Oops. This is a good sign. We're packing a Mary's Moo Moos. Mary's Moo Moos. Saying that right? Good sign because we happen to have a ton of these that are not listed yet. So maybe this means they'll do good once they are listed. There are a ton of solds for these things. And when we were talking about it, I was like, Candace, I don't care if we sell these individually for $10. Normally I don't like to mess with stuff. Mess around with $10 items too much, but whenever they're small like this and don't take up a whole lot of space, I do find it a little irresistible if we can get them cheap. And I feel like they're going to sell pretty well. And I think they will. Okay, we sold this Great Illustrated Classics book set. Thing looks new. almost. I mean, the box, I guess outer box looks a little older, but the books inside look like brand new. Basically like new old stock, more or less. Okay. I did pay up a tad for them. Paid I don't know. I don't even think it's paying up. Paid $10 for it. It was right on the edge of what I was willing to pay, and I went ahead and did it. Okay, we're just going to put this in a 12-12-12 box, resized a tad. All right. I don't think it's super critical, but I just want to give it a little padding on the bottom, just in case it gets a little bit of a bump. I'm going to make this pretty tight right here on this resize. Pretty sure this is going media. So this is a case where the resize is not to get the dimensions down. It's just to not have to fill so much void. That is 30 weight paper, by the way, that we're almost out of, and I do have a brand new fresh roll ready to go whenever that does run out. Okay, there we go. We sold Italiana, all Italiana. I'm not as good at that as she is, but we sold 2 of them on one order, which is always awesome. Okay. And I'm just going to bubble wrap them both, put them in a poly, and then put them in a box. And these aren't like super fragile or anything, but you do have to, whenever you deal with cookbooks, you do have to be cognizant of those plastic combs because you don't want those to crack. Especially on older books, those can be a little brittle sometimes. Okay, we're packing some Harry Potter books on tape. Kind of a weird thing, but the boxes are really kind of cool. So I could see maybe a collector getting them or something. We ended up with those. We bought out somebody's store last year. Paid $2,000 for everything, and that was part of it. We have a lot of good stuff, a lot of mediocre stuff, and then we have a lot of stuff that's not even worth our time to list. But it was over 2,000 items. So I'm actually happy with it. And there have been some gems in there too. And there's been a lot of trips to Goodwill. It's the mixed bag. At the time we did that, we were really struggling for inventory. So what happened was last year, garage sales were not good. I don't know if it was the weather. I think it was the weather. Yeah, it was the weather. I'm talking about summer of 2023. It was so hot here that it pretty much destroyed our garage sale season. Hurt it really bad anyway. And this year it was hot. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like we had days in 2023 I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say in a 2-month period, at least half of the days were over 100 degrees. And people were just sick of it. And nobody wanted to have garage sales. Or not very many. Okay. And this year has been much better. All right, we sold 2 of these dog hoodie, sweater, whatever you want to call them. We sold 2. I'm going to double bag them. And yeah, whenever you see, I am going to actually seal the inner one too. This is going on a trip because this is going to FPO, APO, whatever, Army Post Office. No telling where it's going. It's going to some base somewhere. Oh, what I was saying though about garage sales from 2023, what that meant was we didn't have very much of a back stock at all. So whenever we got the opportunity to buy that store out, it was kind of a no-brainer at the time. Will we do it right now if we got the opportunity? Probably not. Okay, we're moving over to Etsy orders now. We have 2 Italianas going out to 2 different customers. Etsy has been fantastic for Italiana sales. Tell you what, there's nothing better. It's hard to do it. It's hard to find the items. Whenever you source like we do anyways, it's kind of difficult to find items, but man, multi-quantity is the way to go. So nice. One listing, sell hundreds of items. It doesn't get any better than that. Very rare for us though. We've had a few things over the years. Especially when they're pretty easy to pack like these are. Like, if we sold 100 of these a day, I could do it. It'd be a few hours work, but could definitely do that. Okay. So this first one is going to be for Lillian. Lillian. I have to make sure I don't get them mixed up. This one is Lillian. I'm going to keep saying it. You know what, I'll write it. Okay. Perforations aren't cut all the way through on some of them. This one is Lynn, similar name. Okay. Okay, one more Etsy order now. This Bible. We are shipping that in a box. We just might be cracking into that other roll. We've only got one more pack left, but I think we might need it. So I don't think that paper roll's almost cashed out. Okie doke, one more. I'm gonna pack this candle holder. Poshmark order. One of the rare Poshmark orders. I looked at our stats. This is how serious, this is a great comparison. In the past 365 days, we've sold, we have $1,000 in sales on Poshmark total. So we average about $80 a month on Poshmark, 80, 85, something like that. And then to give you some comparison, I didn't look at the year, I should have, but I looked at Etsy to see how it ranks for us. And we've done about 1,100 in 30 days there. So about the same amount of sales that we did on Poshmark in a year, we did on Etsy in 1 month. And Macari, I don't even want to look at. Because it's gotten to where it's basically dead. We've gotten a couple of sales here or there lately, but nothing like we used to before they did their fee change thing. And I said, whenever they did their fee change thing, I said, I don't know, it might work, it might not. I have no idea. I'm not a marketing genius or anything. I think it's safe to say it didn't work. And also, that it doesn't seem like they even care. Like, I said that in one of the vlogs recently that, yeah, Poshmark tried something else. They tried messing with the fees and all that kind of stuff, and they saw it didn't work right away. And they're like, okay, I guess we'll stop doing that. Oh, I'm actually going to use some of the 50-pound paper on this. Yeah, there's nothing at all wrong with trying to do something like that. As a matter of fact, I like that they're trying stuff, but once it doesn't work, you stop. Or you know, do something else. Just like Poshmark did. I was actually pretty impressed when Poshmark, they announced all these big changes, and then I don't even think it was 2 weeks later. They're like, okay, this didn't work, we'll roll it back. And you know what? You kind of eating a... To do that, you're admitting that your what you did failed. And a lot of companies and people, for that matter, they don't like to admit they failed. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with failing. The bigger mistake is when you fail and then you don't like readjust. That's the big mistake. So I thought I was impressed that Poshmark, once they saw that their fee structure change didn't work out well, they changed it back fast. I thought that was smart. Okay, that's done. And that is going to be it for this one. We're going to try 2 videos a week for a while. They're going to be shorter though. Just one day of packing kind of videos. So thanks a bunch for watching, and I will see you even sooner than usual. I'll see you again even sooner than I usually do. Bye, y'all.